Hello everyone. Today we will talk about chapter 31. It's of the great book of the Tao Te Ching. So basically it's about living without weapons or anything of that sort. So most of the time we talk about violence and the saying goes, an eye for an eye will make us all blind, and that's true. And that's the reason why this world we're living in is such a chaos. So let me explain. So the Tao Te Ching in this great chapter 31 says that if you live without weapons, doesn't mean that you just disarm yourself. No, it just means that you use weapons as a last resort. And it doesn't have to be also physical weapons. It can also be other kind of weapons. So things that can harm people. So the Tao is very peaceful, and it wishes that they don't use weapons at all. But if a country doesn't defend itself, then it will be colonized, or like what we've seen in the past history, or that it will be manipulated, or whatever sense, or taken advantage of. So using weapons to protect yourself is absolutely important. Let me explain. So the Tao Te Ching is about living life without weapons. So that these weapons are about, the reason is because the Tao thinks weapons are death. It's not living. The Tao is more about, if I have the creation and not destruction. Weapons is more the opposite of creation. So let's think about the nuclear bombs as well. The mankind has been so intelligent so far that they can kill themselves by what they have designed. And that is really a weapon of mass destruction, the nuclear bombs, unfortunately, we have in this world. And that's the reason why it is so dangerous in the era where we live in since the founding of this bomb. Hopefully in this world we are sensible also with AI, because as you know, if AI touches the nuclear bomb, then we are all maybe very in deep trouble. So hopefully we as human beings are very clever enough to control the artificial intelligence, and that we are the one that don't destroy our own species. All right. So to those that want to understand is to recognize that when there is any killing, we don't. The Tao Te Ching says they don't recognize any victory in the killing, because we are living in one world. We are, even though looking this different, either different culture or religion or different languages, but basically we are the same. We are this human nature that if you close your eyes, then you will see that we drink water from the same source. We breathe air from the atmosphere. So we all basically are human. So all of us are the same brothers and sisters. And that's why the Tao Te Ching recognizes this as well. It says here that a creative nurturing and love. So basically it is very creative, it doesn't destroy, and it's also very nurturing and loving. So that's why living the Tao is always the positive aspects of life. The other thing that I found interesting is in the book that says replace defending the right to and use of weapons with the Tao consciousness, which is a phenomenal sentence, because it says that all of us need to be aware. So that's why I think it's happening now, this all awakening of the human consciousness, and this conscious awareness that every time we're living in the present, we have to be sure that we are doing the things because it's not hurting other people. Because I met a phenomenal monk, and now he's my friend. He also said that basically you don't need to help anyone. And I said, what do you mean? And he explained it so well that I just rephrase what he says, is that if all of us human beings basically don't hurt other people, either physically or mentally or anything else whatsoever, so basically providing negative energy outside, then this world will be a better place. The why? Because the reason is there are always people who wants to take advantage of people, and then they either have evil thoughts, even though you don't physically harm them, they are maybe mentally you harm the people and say, oh, that person is bad, but you do it mentally, and you think about, oh, this person, and that kind of attitude is also not good for you, but it's also not good for the world. Because thoughts always leads to your feeling, and the feeling leads to an action, either by you directly or indirectly. So be careful what you think about. The other thing that I like about is this monk says the only way that you want to help another person is just to make sure that you are the one that don't project that negative energy. And once you do that, it will be a ripple effect. Okay, so that's the reason why, in order for us to have a peaceful world, a world peace, is literally look into yourself. What kind of actions, thoughts, feeling you have amongst each other. And if we can build a world with a better place, is always start with your thoughts first. That you try to find a way how to, even though you have an argument or anything, that you try to do it in a diplomatic way. So find a way how to solve it together, and if it cannot, find a third party, so that we can do that as in a person sense, and also in a company sense we do that, and in a country sense. And if countries have some issue, they have to find out a way how to go through the like a United Nations charter to make sure that we can solve this in a diplomatic way. So we need more diplomats also to find a middle ground, the Tao. Okay, stop using physical and verbal. I just mentioned that. That is number one. And two is discontinue celebrating death, or like there's always it's a victory or anything of that sort. Anything that's violence in any form whatsoever, we have to try not to celebrate it. I know people will hate me for this, but I don't think we should celebrate Halloween. I just say it. No, not at all. I don't celebrate Halloween at all. Even I don't allow my kids to do that, because of course it sounds very that's anti-Halloween. Yeah, I am, if I have to put my stand on it, because it's the death. And people say, yeah, it's just a kids party and so. No. Kids party is kids party, but then we give candy in a different way. But the problem with kind of celebration is death, and people don't understand, like what happened in Asia last time. There was a stampede somewhere, and so many people died because of tragic incident. Because we cannot celebrate death. It's not good. I understand that some people will disagree with me on this video. Just please put your comments below, and we can come to a common ground to talk about this and debate on this subject. Because celebrating death is not the way we do. Of course, some people say culture differences, and in some culture we celebrate. We don't celebrate death, by the way. In some other cultures, when someone died, they don't celebrate the death. They celebrate basically the living, when a person was alive. Okay, so don't confuse that. When you see a coffin and people dance around, that they are basically celebrating the death. No, not at all. It's more about, when I asked that person also why your culture does this kind of thing, and they said no, it's not celebrating the death. To be clear, it's celebrating the living of the person. When the person was alive, this person has meant so much to us, and that we celebrate his or her contribution to humankind. Very important, the contribution to humankind. That is what they celebrate. So all in all, I hope this is a great explanation of the Tao number 31. That means that we have to, as much as we can, not to use any weapons, live without weapons, but that we can, of course, use it as a last resort if you are physically being attacked or anything, invaded when it comes to country sense, then we need to protect ourselves. That's absolutely a must. But all in all, I hope this, let me see, this book again, yep. So let me read out from chapter 31. It is because arms are instruments of ill omen, and there are things that detest them, that one who has the way does not abide by their use. The gentleman gives precedence to the left when at home, but to the right when he goes to war. Arms are instruments of ill omen, not the instruments of the gentleman. When one is compelled to use them, it is best to do so without relish. There is no glory in victory, and to glorify it despite this is to exult in the killing of men. One who exults in the killing of men will never have his way in the empire. On the occasions of rejoicing, precedence is given to the left, and on occasion of mourning, precedence is given to the right. A lieutenant's place is on the left, the general's place is on the right. This means that it is mourning rites that are observed. Thank you so much. Let's go to the next chapter. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe or just share this video with someone that you think might help them. Thank you so much.